All right, today we're talking about something I think we've all felt, the frustration of trying to get an AI to do exactly what you want. We're going to look at a new system called PromptFoundry, which is trying to turn that whole guessing game into an actual science. Let's see how they're doing it. So let's just get right to it with a question I know you've asked yourself. Why is talking to an AI so random? You know the feeling, right? You spend all this time crafting what you think is the perfect prompt, and you get back garbage. But then you change like one tiny word, and suddenly it's a masterpiece. What is going on? Why does it feel like a total guessing game? And listen, it's not just you. The problem is that the entire way we do prompting right now is kind of built on sand. Performance is totally inconsistent. What works for you might not work for your coworker, and a prompt that absolutely crushes it on GPT, it might just completely bomb on Claude. There's just no standard way to measure what good even looks like, so we're all just stuck in this endless cycle of, well, trial and error. Okay, but what if there was a better way? That's where PromptFoundry comes into the picture. And what's really interesting here is that it's not just another cool tool or, a website with a bunch of pre-written prompts. They're positioning it as a full-on infrastructure system. Think about that. Something foundational, something you can build your entire AI workflow on top of. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of what makes it so different. It says PromptFoundry doesn't just assist you in writing prompts, it autonomously evolves them. That's the key. You give it a starting point, and the system literally improves it by itself, automatically. So what in the world does autonomous prompt evolution even mean? Well, think of it like this. It's a process where the system just takes over. It automatically tweaks and refines your prompt again and again and again. It runs through tons of different versions, all on its own, until it finds the absolute best one for the job. No more manual tinkering. Okay, that sounds pretty cool, right? But how does it actually do that? Let's pop the hood and take a look. The heart of this whole thing is what they call the APA engine. That stands for Autonomous Prompt Evolution, and you'll be surprised how straightforward its core loop actually is. So here's how it goes. First, you give it your initial prompt. Simple enough. Then the system goes to work, generating a whole bunch of variations of that prompt. Step 3, it tests all those variants out across different AI models. After that, it evaluates all the outputs and gives them a score. Then, and this is the important part, it keeps only the best performing prompt and tosses the rest. And finally, it just repeats the whole cycle, over and over, until that prompt is as good as it can possibly be. Now, that optimization loop sounds awesome, but there's a little wrinkle we mentioned earlier. Not all AI models think alike, right? A prompt that gets you an amazing result from one model might get you total nonsense from another. It's almost like they have their own little personalities. And this is where PromptFoundry gets really, really clever. It actually builds what you could call behavioral profiles for each of the major AI models. It learns their quirks. For instance, it figures out that GPT models really like structured step-by-step instructions. Claude, on the other hand, prefers more context and a good story. And Gemini, it wants you to be super explicit and separate the role, the task, and the output. The system then uses all this intel to automatically optimize prompts specifically for each model's brain. So what we're really seeing here is a huge shift. We're moving away from just intuition. That feeling of, I think this prompt feels a little better. Instead, we're moving to a world of cold, hard data. No more subjective guesswork. You get objective measurement. And here's what that looks like in practice inside their benchmarking lab. Look at this. Version 1 of a prompt. It's okay. Scores a 78 here and 82 there, but ultimately it gets rejected. But then, after the system evolves it, version 2 comes in and just crushes it. A 92 on GPT, a 94 on Gemini. The numbers speak for themselves. This isn't a feeling anymore. It's proof. All that guesswork is just gone. And when you start thinking in terms of data like this, you realize PromptFoundry is way more than just a slick tool for one person. It's really a system for an entire team. It's designed to help everyone master this skill and scale up how they use AI, effectively and consistently. I mean, think of it like a central hub for all of your team's prompts, kind of like a GitHub for prompt engineering. Every single prompt has a full version history, so you can see exactly how it evolved. It's all stored with its performance data, the scores, and it's tagged to show which AI models it works best on. This makes them totally reusable, and it means everyone on the team is working from the same proven playbook. That is absolutely huge for keeping things consistent and under control. But what's maybe even more exciting is that this kind of structure does more than just keep your prompts organized. It actually starts to build a real structured path for professional growth in this field. And this table here, it shows you exactly what that path looks like. It's a clear career ladder. You can start as a prompt user, move up to prompt designer, then prompt engineer, and climb all the way to a certified model adaptive prompt specialist. I mean, how cool is that? It's taking prompt engineering from this kind of niche, messy skill and turning it into a legitimate, serious discipline where you can actually measure and prove your mastery. So, when you step back and look at all of this together, you can really see the bigger picture taking shape. What we're witnessing is a fundamental shift in how we talk to AI. We're moving this whole field away from just intuition and guesswork and firmly into the realm of science. And this chart really says it all, doesn't it? We're leaving the low-performance world of guesswork and tedious trial and error behind, and we're moving up into a new world of high-performance, high-reliability, autonomous optimization. It's a total game changer. And really, it all boils down to their vision statement, which is pretty powerful. Their goal is to standardize and elevate prompt engineering into a measurable, scalable, and globally recognized skill. Ultimately, it's about helping us, humans and AI, to finally speak the same language, with real precision and real reliability. So let me leave you with this one last question to think about. If all that frustrating, time-sucking guesswork of writing prompts was just gone, if your prompts could literally perfect themselves automatically, what would you be able to create? What new doors would that open up?